Okay, so we studied basics of Bootstrap yesterday. Okay, and for that you know the website to refer. Okay, so I'll just share my screen till then. Okay, so this is the website. You can go to getbootstrap.com, and from there you will have an option to redirect to docs. Okay, so those who missed yesterday's lecture, there's nothing more. This is nothing more to learn here. This is just basic template which you used to use for development aspect of it. Okay, if you want to aspect on any specific keyword which is present, you can ask me. We can specifically go into that keyword. So that's how it can be done. And if you want to reduce weight, height, you can do it through CSS. Okay, and one more important thing, whenever you are writing CSS along with the Bootstrap template, always keep it under the Bootstrap CSS. Okay, this is the Bootstrap CSS, and this is the link to your custom CSS. Okay, so it should be always below it. Okay, so if you want to apply custom colors, if you want to apply different custom styles, different font, it should always be below it. Okay, Bootstrap gives you by default a font, so don't worry if it shows a different kind of font in your browser. So this is what we studied yesterday, basically a carousel, alerts, buttons, and basically cards. Okay, moving on. So we have different components too, so moving on to to other components. So there's something called as a modal. Can anyone explain what a modal is? Anyone, what a modal is? In English also it's the same, I think. Yes. Anyone? Just try guessing. Even if you get it wrong, that's okay. No one. Come on, someone just try what a modal is.
Come on, guys. Say yes or no. Just.
Yeah, if you don't know, at least say no. That's also fine.
Yeah, yeah. Just try. We'll help you. No idea.
Okay,
Okay, Harshita. Chai. I don't know. Okay, great.
great. Okay, so what modal is basically, I'll give you a live demo. So in many websites you have seen, when you click on something, it shows up a pop-up like thing. So like a Discord link or something like that. On clicking off a button, it shows, do you want to exit this site? Are you sure? Something like that. These kind of things come in modal. Okay, we can do it through JavaScript too, but with HTML, with Bootstrap gives you by default its own beautiful modal, so you can use that specifically. And this requires a little bit of JavaScript, so we can go into this, but I'll explain the basic JavaScript if required, but I think most of it isn't required right now. We'll just see how to integrate this on a click of a button. Okay, so I'll show you the live demo. See, so basically whenever you have a button like this, you just click launch demo or something like that. You can specify whatever action you want to have it, so it will show you a modal kind of thing. Okay, so this is basically a pop-up where you can add text, or you can ask if you want to save the change, or you can close. So whenever you make a change to a note down app note kind of application, so you can give an option to save the change, or you can click if you really want to save these changes that you have done, or you want to close it. So these are the two options. Otherwise you can close it from here too. Okay, so this is how you can do it. You can just copy the link, and you can paste it through this also. Any of that works. Okay, so for now we can take it. Oh, shall we integrate it in some button? Then there won't be extra space. Okay, in card button we'll add this. Okay, so in that button I'll copy the CSS class for it. I'll explain how this works also, because this is a little tricky part. Let's make this as a button if it works. I don't know will Bootstrap support this or not, but let's follow that at least. Yes, it works. So you can use a, okay, in Bootstrap there's one advantage, you can either use a or button, any of that works. Okay, you don't have to be specific that where you should use a or where you should use href. Okay, any of that works, and you can add links like this. Okay, so here we are using a button because we don't want to redirect it to anywhere. So what, can anyone explain any of this attribute, data bs toggle and data bs target? What are they? Anyone? Just try guessing it. Till then I'll paste the code for this. These two words, any of you can explain what they do. Anyone? You can try out, no issues. Okay, so I'll explain if you don't know. So what happens is data bs target, what it does is it specifies at which location this model has to open. Okay, so if you have multiple modals like this in website, like you have hundreds of modals or hundreds of pop-ups that you have, on clicking of this it should open some other, on clicking of this it should open some different modal. To specify which modal it should open, it we have to specify it in database target, and specifically whatever value you have written here, you have to specify the same id for it. And in css we call it using hash, the same thing is used here. So here also you can use hash to call that specific id, or you can use a class also, but it's always recommended to use id because id is unique and class won't be unique. So that's why we use id here. Okay, is that clear? Any doubts you can ask, because this is a really tricky part. If you don't understand this in java, in js, whenever we teach this, this may give a problem. Okay.
Sir, please
Can you please
explain it
repeat
again.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so basically here you have a button, type button, then there is a class of primary button. Okay, this is normally characteristics of a button. Then there's data bs toggle model. Okay, you have to specify what kind of work function this is doing. Okay, so it's toggling between this to a normal button. Okay, so this has to be specified. It's a parameter in bootstrap. If you don't give this, it won't give an error, but it's always better to specify it. Okay, then we have data bs target. Okay, so this is what this does is this is specifies at which place this modal is opening to. Okay, so if you have multiple modals, like here you have one, here you have one, and on clicking of this you have one, on clicking of something you have one. Okay, on clicking of this you can have one, on this you can have one. So to know what happens on clicking of each of the following, so you have to specify for each modal where should it open. So we use id for it because id is unique and no other modal should open with that same thing. Okay, generally what happens is whenever you open a modal, it's unique to it, so that's why it will be unique if you use it. Okay, so that's why on clicking of it, it should only open specific modals. Okay, moving on, then you have text here, then you have button. Okay, here starts the modal. It won't be showing up in css, it won't show up like a normal button in css because it has a class of modal fade. What modal fade does is it will not show this content according to css. It will not, according to the css written in bootstrap, it will hide this automatically, so you won't see the code for modal fade. If you remove this, I think it will show up. If you remove this, you can see the modal. Okay, so this specific class fades away the modal until unless you don't click a button. Okay, so that's why this is a specific class, and data target, it specifies which modal to use, and in id you have to specify that. Okay, and you have to use hash for it. If it's an id, you can use dot if you are using a class, but class isn't recommended at all. Always use id here. Okay, so that's how you call the modal, and then you can specify, you can modify other parameters if you want here. These are basic div and values of different bootstrap parameters. Okay, so you don't have to learn each of them. You can just go through one by one and see what each of the following functions is. If you want to know what a specific class of bootstrap does, basically comment it out or remove it, and you can see what's the use of it. Okay, so now is that clear? Any doubt, Shrishti, or anyone? You can.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so remember this because we'll use it in bootstrap. Okay, so you click go somewhere, it opens up a modal. Okay, you can click save changes or you can click close. Okay, so that's it. And on database dismiss, you can specify on clicking of this, it should automatically close it. You can have only a single button, you should but if you have a single button, also specify that database dismiss means it will automatically close the modal. And if you have to specify some job on clicking of this button, then we'll study about that in JavaScript, so don't worry. Okay, and these are some of the other modals also. We learn about containers, rows and everything, so don't worry. Okay, moving on. What are toasts? Anyone? Difference? What are toasts? You must have heard about this in mobile devices. It's quite famous. What are toasts?
When we click on some button, or it will display that it is clicked or not.
Yes. Okay.
That button is clicked. Notification type.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's correct. It's kind of a notification thing. So whenever you click on some button, it shows that your process in progress, something like that. You have seen it in many sites, but just for example, in mobile devices, your something is in progress, please wait, or whenever you book your slot booking, it shows there also. So vaccine slot booking, so in those cases they use toast. Okay, toasts are generally used in mobile devices more as compared to laptop, but nowadays, as we are making we can convert a normal website to an app using Angular or React, so people are doing it in both devices. Okay, so that's why toast came up. So you can use toast anywhere, it will be used as an alert. And to click, same thing, if you have to toggle it, you have to specify the data, you have to specify the ID for it, and you have to call that ID specifically here or anywhere. Okay, so this is an example. See, you can see a toast down. You can specify the location for it too also, so that's completely on you. I think you can specify the location too. Yes, so this is generally a basic example of a toast. Okay, this is how it should look normally, and you can specify colors or anything like that. These are more of a notification kind of thing, so it's by an organization and what's the notification. Okay, so these are different kinds of it. So let's take this button thing, we'll put it on primary button. Okay, where's the primary button? Yes. Okay, okay, so now let's see the code once. Okay, so basically button type, button class, same. You have to use an ID to specify for where this should open. Okay, so what ID does is it's unique, so every time you have to click a toast should also be unique, so that's why IDs are provided for that. Then the div for it, you have to specify the div, whatever div you are using. Only the things that matter are these IDs and the content present in div IDs. Okay, so you can change that. If you want to add more IDs, you have to just change the ID name and where you are calling that specific ID. Okay, so that's the only thing you have to change. Other than that, it will work completely fine. So let's try. I think you have to enable JavaScript for it. I don't know why it's not showing. Let's take this code and try this. Oh, no. I think it requires JavaScript and popper.js specifically, these two lines. Let's comment and see. Let's save it. Yes. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing. Div ID, alert automatic. It should show that, I don't know why. Okay, normally if you don't specify that, it will normally show the toast too. So if you remove this, dot hide removes it basically. So if you remove that, you can normally see the toast anywhere. Other than that, I think everything is there. Yeah, you can specify fixed bottom 0, or you can change it to top 0, end 0. So here you can change the position of it if you want to, and the rest it should work. I don't know why it's not showing. Let's try this one. I don't know why it's not working in my computer. Okay, it might happen if you are having network issues. I'll of course upload this. You can check that out there. Okay, just I don't know why it's not working specifically here. These basic toasts should work, or they require some extra JS part, but they should load. I don't know why. I'll check this if why it's showing an error or any specific class it may require. So I'll check that, and moving on, we'll do another element. So we have drop downs also. So what drop downs does is basically you click on it and you get many options here. So we already have one of it implemented here. So we have it in navbar. So here we have implemented a drop down, but it does nothing because we haven't specified the ID for it. So you can specify the action on it. So here's a drop down. Here's a drop down. You can see, and you can specify the UL to it or whatever action you want to have for it. Okay. So these are drop downs, and you can use it anywhere you want with the UL and ID for it specifically. Okay, and with button group or with secondary class or success info, anything like that. Okay. Okay. Then we have carousels. We have used carousels. We have used navbar. Okay, spinners. Okay, what are spinners basically? Can anyone explain? What are they called other than their original name, spinners? Anyone? What are spinners? You have them everywhere, on every site. Anyone? What are spinners? Just try guessing, guys. Even with the name, you can guess what it does, basically. Try guessing at least. Select something. Okay, select something from the given list. Okay, nice try. It doesn't do that. Next, anything else? Okay, you see them in every site. Okay, you see it even here. Whenever you click a site, you see a loader. Basically, that loaders are spinners which are present. Okay, you can use them anywhere whenever you have a loading screen. So, loading screen or moving from one page to another page. So these spinners are used there. Okay, so you can take any of them and use it. They should have a very small code, and there's some visually impaired text hidden. So visually hidden text, which is when your site doesn't load properly, it will show these words. So sometimes you might have seen that in many websites you go, they don't show that specific word. They show loading if you don't load the website properly or you have network issues. So in those cases, it should show that this is a loading thing. Okay, and when the loading is performed, this keyword also goes away. Okay, because it's written in a if else condition. So till the page loads, you can have this, and if it's done, then it will go automatically. Okay, so when your browser isn't able to run this or might have internet issues, so it will show dot loading. Okay, rest the colors and everything you can add out on your own. So this text primary, you change it to any of the text. You can use our custom CSS also and change it. So that's it, and there are multiple classes for it. And if you want a custom, you can build your custom one also. It's not really hard to build, and you can change the size, SM. Okay, so let's see components of it, layouts. Okay, so we have studied containers. What are grids? What is a grid system? Anyone? Loading of a site. Yes, great. Okay, what is a grid system? Anyone? What is a grid system? Where are grid systems used?
Galleries.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, you can see it in galleries. In mobile view, in mobile there are many galleries. You can see it there. That's correct. And what is the grid system? Anyone else? Where are they used other than gallery? You might have known other examples. Okay, so what is a grid system? In Bootstrap, they have specifically given a system which uses specifically the keywords of Bootstrap to align your components in different directions. If you want to align them in a 3 column, you want 4 column items, you want 6 column items, you want 6 rows items. So they have given a keyword for it, so that you can make boxes or whatever you want to do. Okay, so to do that, they have specified a grid and what are columns and other. We will go into each of them one by one. So yeah, Gmeet, that's great. One of the best example is Gmeet. You can see these are aligned in a box kind of structure. So that's done by grid system. Okay, so everywhere you see cards and everything. They are all in grid systems. Okay, I'll take this for example. So it automatically, if you don't specify the number of elements in it, it will automatically adjust it and take each of them equally. And if you want to specify a specific number it should occupy. So can anyone tell what's the width of this complete width in Bootstrap? So what is the maximum width of a grid system in Bootstrap? This extends from here and it ends up till here. What's the width for it? Anyone? There's a maximum number of grid that are allowed in it. Okay, so here you have to use 3. How many can we go up to? Anyone? 12, 12, 12. Yeah, everyone knows this. Okay. Yes, apps on our home screen. Yes, very good. Okay, so whenever you work in responsiveness sites, these all are in grid system. Okay, all of these comes up in grid system. Yes, that's correct. It's 12. Okay, so always remember that you can have maximum 12 items in a row. Okay, nothing beyond it, because if you go beyond that, what problem occurs is you can't see the text properly. So if I even do this in here, you can see. I'll show you just for example if you want to see. These are 6. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so after 12 it automatically breaks to one more line, and you can barely see text beyond it. Okay, nobody reads so long text. Okay, so maximum you can have 11, because if you have to create links or something like that, maximum you can go up to is 12. Okay, after that it will automatically break into next line. Okay, is that clear? Yeah, this is really important. Okay, so please do it, give attention. Yeah, because if you have doubts, okay, great. Okay, so moving on, how it works. So how many viewpoints are there? Basically, how many devices can you view a specific website in? So what are the devices? What are the 4 or 3 main devices in which you can see the websites in? I have given one answer. Okay. How many devices are there in which you can view a website? Okay, don't specify the width of it. Okay, just specify the width of it or type of device. 3 type of devices. Anyone? This you can guess. What are the types of devices on which you can see? Anyone? Desktop, tablet. Yes. Desktop, tablet, mobile. Yes. Yes. 3. Tab, pick, mobile. Yes, that's correct. Okay. The 3 devices are tab, pick, mobile and PCs. Okay, or desktop or laptops, anything that comes in the first category. First category is really long, so we have 3 values for it. Okay, so these are total number of elements. Okay, there can be more than that, but these are the 4 or 6, I think 6 of them. Okay, so there's an extra small devices, which is I'll show you. You can see the number of devices also when you click inspect. You can check out in this responsive section. There are devices which are really old. So you have Galaxy S5 and beyond this. Okay, you can check the resolution for it and you can check it here. Okay, so these devices come under XS. Okay, XS devices are very small and you barely see them anywhere nowadays. No one uses them. Okay, so these are very old. If you use Moto G4, Galaxy S5 and Galaxy series or something like beyond, which was not used here, so you will be able to see that. And most of the devices which come today are nowadays in iPhone X series, or they are somewhere like Pixel to XL or something like that. But Moto G4 and those devices beyond this, I think before this there were devices like this. Okay, so these devices like these were very small, and like if you have seen Samsung Monte or something like that, these devices were for them this access is used. And by default, if you use column, it will automatically take it for access device. Okay, so it will work for all devices. If you use only col, it will work for all devices irrespective how much you go beyond. If it breaks somewhere, then it will come down to another column, otherwise it will take it like this. Okay, then you have column SM for small devices, which are small devices like above 576, below 768. Okay, So you can check this manually when running it. LG, this comes under this MD and LG are basically tablet devices. If you have a smaller tablet, then it comes here. If you have a bigger tablet, it comes here. X and XL, these both come in tablet in PCs and laptops. This comes generally in a laptop, and this comes under high-ended PCs. You have plasma TV or something like that. In those devices, you have double XL. Okay. So streaming companies do focus on these a lot. Okay, so that's why even in your TVs you get a responsive good design. So that's why these come here. Okay, and you have a max container width. Containers are basically, you know, the element which specify it in a box. So these are the containers for it and prefixes for it, col MD. Okay, I'll tell you the three main. You have to use SM, MD and XL. You can skip LG and XXL if you require. They are only required when there's a breakage through. Okay, so mainly you use SM, MD and XL. Okay. Okay, now I'll explain the grid system with this example. I think there's already a no, there's no container. Yep. Okay, so whenever you use something like this, I'll remove the loader, it's too much disturbing. Okay, what happens when you use this? Okay, what Bootstrap does is, whenever you use 1 of 2 and 2 of 2, what it will do is, I'll take colors also. Guys, give colors, okay. Primary, I'll use primary text or whatever. It's primary text, text primary. Sorry. It gives colors to this. And what's for background? I'll use green. I will import this file and use it. Don't tend to remember those colors by Bootstrap. Background color. Okay, don't remember those colors. They are really difficult to remember. I also don't remember them. I'll use green. Okay, so yes, you can see how much width it occupies. It occupies the complete width from here to here. If you write text till here, it will not break till this length. Okay, so this becomes a specific area. Okay, this is half of it. So whenever you have to use two elements in it, you use col and two elements occupied. So 6, distance 6 is occupied by here and 6 is occupied here. It's always divided in 12. Okay, when there are 3 elements, you divide it by 12. So 12 divided by 3, there are 4 elements occupying each of the space. So this is 4, and this till here it's 4, till here it's 4. Okay, you can check this manually. You can check by adding colors. So this is 3 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3. Okay, you can keep moving forward. You can check it to, if you want to specify, if you want to change the length for it, you can add col 6. What happens if you add col 6? Anyone? What does col 6 do? We take this example. What happens if you use col 6? Try guessing, try guessing. Anyone? Try guessing, guys. No issues if you make it wrong. What happens if you use col 6? Yes, anyone? Hey, just guys, try. What is col 6? What does it mean? It's really yeah,
Yeah.
it's really important. That's why you have to interact here. Okay. If you
Yeah.
don't,
See, guys, actually, you have to interact more because after this session, there will be like JavaScript session. So it will be more important. If you don't interact, we can't understand, right? What you are understanding or not.
yeah, that's column 6. But what it does, it occupies 6 spaces. Okay. That's correct. To use what is column 6, it uses column 6 columns covered. Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Just try. We'll rectify if you are wrong or
Yes.
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
even if you are making a try, that's more than enough. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, if you use call 6, it occupies 6 columns by default. Okay, if you use call 4, it occupies 4 column units. This is totally 12 units. You can say this is a 12 units, and then number of units you want it to give it, so you can use call for it. And call 5 also you can specify, and call 4. The rest of it will be automatically allocated if you use it. Okay, if you normally use call, the rest of it will be allocated automatically, so you don't have to worry. Okay, and if you have to give a breakpoint or you don't have to start it from a particular screen, you can use call LG2 and call MG. So in these cases what happens is, I'll take this and I'll explain. Okay, what happens is it starts from a larger, when as it's a larger screen, it starts directly from here, 1 of 3 in all MD screens. Okay, so you can see LG2, all the large screens above 992 pixels. Okay, my screen is 992 pixels, so it starts directly from here. But if I change it to mobile view, it becomes normal. Okay, so there's no rows here. Okay, so you have to take the row and width system for each and every resolution. Okay, so if now currently it has taken for large devices which are like above tablets, laptops, basically these are for laptops, and PCs, the same thing will work. For small devices you have to specify individually after this. Okay, so you can see that's why in mobile view it doesn't have any rows, it doesn't form it up in any rows. Okay, so that's why whenever you use MD, you will have it in large devices or medium sized devices, whatever you can say. Okay, and only the rows will work for that. Okay, call MD, call LG for this. Even if you reduce it to some medium sized element, you can see rows, but I think it will work for tablets. Okay, so let's take some Galaxy Fold, some tablet, iPad Pro. So in tablet also it works, but if you go beyond, if you start reducing it to any other size, it won't. Okay, so do keep this in mind that if you use MD LG, you have to specify it for smaller devices too. So in smaller devices it's call, so it won't do it automatically. You have to specify what should be present and what length. Okay, it won't take it automatically. Moving on, what are the breakpoints specifically? So you have 8 and 4, so they should add up always to a 12. You can't, if you give something beyond this, what happens is that row completely comes down to the next line. It won't stay up there. If you want particular two elements to be side by side, so you have to follow the 12 factor rule, 12 units rule. You have to always keep this to 12 units. Okay, so this is call 8, call 4. Okay, so if I have call 8, how many call 8 rows can be adjusted in one place? Call 9, if I have call 9, how many call 9 rows can be there in one place? Anyone? Call, if I use call 9, how many rows can come up? Just try. If I use call 9, then yeah, here I'm using call 8, 2 rows. No, it only one can come at a time. Okay, so at call 9 only one row can come, which is one element of call 9. No two elements can come because maximum units is 12. Maximum units is 12. So if you go 9 plus 9, it goes beyond 12. So that's why every time you have to check if it goes beyond. You have to check it out that if it's correct or not. Okay, SM is for smaller devices, and same thing I'll show you. If you have a smaller device, it will work. So it will work for all devices unless the device is too small. Okay, so in this case you can see it works with all devices if you try, but if you go beyond some devices like the scale smaller than 500, then it breaks down. Okay, so in smaller devices it works. If you go beyond, it won't. So every time you have to keep this all things in mind to check out if you have to use any of these. Okay, so always remember this grid system, what grid system is used and what are the different resolutions for it. And if you are a complete beginner, just use call, don't go into this. Okay, you can directly use call and work with it. No worries, this MGLG and everything is little bit confusing, so it might take some time. So don't worry, if you add columns more than that size, it will automatically break. So you can see here same thing, so you don't have to worry, you can just start working with normal columns.
Sir, can you brief this grid system once again?
Sure. Okay, so basically there are 12 units of space in a container. Okay, if without container you have 14, two spaces are automatically occupied by a container at the end. Okay, same, this two spaces are automatically occupied by a container, but grid system works with container, so that's by default. So you will always have 12 units present. So whenever you have to use 12 units, by default if you use call, it automatically divides the structure into whatever number of units you want. If you use call, it will, number of elements you specify, it will, you equally divide each of them. Okay, so if you have this, it will equally divide if you use call. Okay, and moving on, if you want to specify a particular width, you use call 6, so it will specify 6 units to that place, and rest of them will be equally divided because you have used call. Okay, so call equally distributes amongst itself, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to check out what the problem is. There's something called as breakpoint. Okay, breakpoint is when you have to use it in specific devices. So in mobile, suppose you want to show if you want to show a particular image, but in laptop you don't have to, or you have to specify it in laptop, you don't have to give it in mobile. In those cases, you give a 5 structure layout. In mobile, you give a 3 structure layout. So in laptop you can give 7 rows here or 16 rows here, but in mobile you can't do that. So because of that problem, that's why you have LG and MG for it. So that's why this will work for MD devices only, medium sized devices or large sized devices only. Beyond that it won't work. So that's why these resolutions and everything are specified. Okay, then you have something called as call 8, call 4. So every time you have to add up to 14 elements. If you specify call, it all automatically specifies shape to it. And whenever you are using a grid system, you have to always keep these two classes by default, container and row. Okay, then you can keep on adding elements here. Here instead of text you can add cards also, but you have to have a class for call. Okay, so do remember that this is not limited to text. You can use cards, you can use any element, any alerts, anything like that. Any of that can be added. Whatever we studied on day 7, any of the elements can be nested like this by it. Then if you go beyond, this is for smaller devices, same thing, it goes like that. If you go into very small devices, it won't work. Okay, so moving on, then same thing, MD and LG. So if you have to specify for both two devices, you can use it like this. And then I'll show the breakage one. Okay, so if you go beyond number of elements in a column, then it will automatically break. Okay, that's by cols 4, because every column should be by default cols 4. Okay, so these are basically the rows of it. You don't have to go deep into it. Whenever you are making an element, just use row and then column, and it will automatically build it for you. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts regarding this grid system? It's little bit tough, that's why I've specified more on it. It will take time to learn. Okay, so whenever you just try out at home by making cards in a structure, and you can add padding by default. So if you want to add, because in grid it sticks up together if you use it together. Okay, so you have to add padding. Clear? Okay, then we have columns also. So in columns, you can, same thing, you have the same 12 unit structure. Instead of you have to use row and then you have to use columns. In columns you can nest number of rows. Okay, so inside this column I can have 3 elements if I want. Okay, so it becomes nested columns or more columns in it, so that can be done like that. Okay, and this is a basic one. You can see, yes, you can align them in different directions. So you can see this is one is at the top, then it's in middle, then it's at the bottom. Okay, you can do this by aligning items from start, aligning items to left, aligning items middle. So it will start from middle, it will start from end. Okay, These are basic classes which are by Bootstrap. You can check them out. If you want, I'll show the demo also. Wait a second. Yes, see, you can see these elements starting from any places. Okay, so you can try this out specifically. It will start the columns from start. It will start the column from middle. It will start from column. If you add more columns here, it will start adding these columns above some layer. It will add columns sub below layer. Okay, so that's how it works. And then you can align it from start, middle, and then the end. Okay, same thing inside a column also you can align them. If that's in rows, you can specify it in columns also. So if you add a specific element here, it will start from here, then next element start from middle, third it start from here. So you have to make some ladder kind of thing. Same here, there's something called as justify content start. Okay, so what justify content start, it starts from the initial left of it. If you use content center, so it starts from the center. If you use end, it starts from this place, and then it will stack up elements like this. Okay, in center it starts like this. In these two cases it will start adding elements to the right, but here it will start from here and then add elements like this. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Then you have justify content around and between or evenly. These aren't important, only evenly is important. If you have to specify distance between them automatically, you can use evenly, and you add two elements, it will automatically add padding to it. So if you move it to mobile devices, the padding and everything will be adjusted automatically. So this one's really important, so you can remember this justify content evenly, or you will use this justify content start. Okay, most of the other things are generally not used. Okay, there's something called as column wrapping. You don't have to study this won't be required. Okay, anyone, what is an offset? What is an offset? This is a very good keyword. Why? And it's used multiple times in websites. What is offset? Anyone? You can try guessing it. Same in English also, I think. Little bit different. What is offset? Anyone? Just try, guys. Come on. Because this is really important. If you guess this right, then I think most of you know the bootstrap thing. Anyone? To balance effects. No. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like that. No, it's not for balance effect. But yes, nice try. Anyone? Okay, just by okay, now seeing the diagram, if anyone of you can tell what it is. Just try guessing, seeing the diagram also. I think it's difficult to identify, but still, with diagram, if you can identify it. For spacing in between to move column. Yeah, okay, so yes, to move columns, that's correct. Okay, that's right. For spacing, yes, it's kind of margin also, that's also right. But the main answer is it moves the column. So suppose you have to start a column from center, you don't have to give something here, you have to leave some space here. So it can directly start from offset MD3, so it will directly start from the third unit and provide 3 spaces because col MD3. Okay, and it will leave 3 spaces. Same thing here also, it will leave 3 spaces and start from 3. So total 3 plus 3 6, 3 plus 3 6, so total 12. Okay, so that's how it is. If you want to see, I'll just add this also, you can see it here. Yeah, so it starts from 3 units here and then starts from 3 units here, so total 6 units. Okay, leaves 3 units here, it tells 3 units here and 3 units here. Same thing, col MD4, it will start from the center if you don't give an offset. Offset basically moves with number of units you want it to move. In starting, if you don't want 2 units, you just specify offset MD2 or offset 2, and it won't take these 2 units, it will start from the third unit directly. Okay, so the count starts from 3. This is really important when you have to start a card from left, and you have to leave 2 spaces here, you have to leave 2 spaces there. And this works even in mobile devices. I think it's for MD, that's why it's working for middle devices. But yes, in mobile also it will leave some space of 2 units, which is really small as compared to mobile, but yes, it will leave that space also. So offset is very important when you don't have to start it exactly from here. You can give a spacing like this and start it from there. So you don't have to learn this justify thing if you want. You can use this offset and everything will work with it. Okay, so always try using offset. That's better than using justify, align and everything. Okay, is that clear? Doubts? Any doubts in offset? You can ask, because this is important also, what offset is. Okay, so some same example offset also, it moves spacings and everything. You can try it out at home. Offset, changing different offsets and starting the column, adding different colors to it so you can identify it better. Here they have given white, so it's difficult to identify. Okay, then you have, if you have same thing, if you have to add margin also, use MS Auto. Okay, what MS Auto does is, for small devices it automatically aligns it for margins, and for middle devices MD Auto, and for large devices also. Okay, so this is how it will work. If you use MS Auto, it will automatically align them, automatically take for middle devices, and ME Auto also you can use. So any of this works for different devices, different is used, but the best is you can use ME Auto. So what it does is, it takes first element in start and the second element at the end. Okay, so this is the easiest one to use. Yes, these are flex box, you have a large kind of thing, but better to use these offset. The most important thing is the offset and the coal thing. Okay, so remember those. You can, if you want to learn in detail, just these tools are more important. Any doubts up till now? What a specific column, what are margins, grid system? Any doubts with it? Because this is really important when you are learning Bootstrap or CSS. Okay, if you don't have doubts here today, we are done with the session. So if you still have doubts, you can stay, and rest of you can leave. So we will have an assignment today. I'll post that assignment up so you can check out it there. It will be basically a Bootstrap assignment, so you can check that. Rest any doubts, anything with GitHub or anything like that? Any doubts or anything like that, you can stay here, and if you are done with the session, you can leave. Okay, because now I think most of the Bootstrap basics are done, so yeah, that's just for it. Okay, any doubts, anything else?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, how can we change the height of the image in the carousel component?
Okay, Shrishti had the same doubt today. Okay, so what happened? So let's see the 7th one. Okay, this was the one. Yes, this is the one. So here I have to change the height for it. Okay.
Sir, your screen is not.
Sir, your screen.
Okay, sorry. Wait a second. Okay, so here's the example. You have to change the carousel height. Okay, so you can change the width with this W thing. Where is it? I think it's in start after navbar, no? So after navbar, yes. Okay, so here if you have to change the width of the image, you can go ahead and changing it from here, width 50, width 50, width 50, and you can change the width for it. But if you have to change the height, you have to take a specific item. So you have to take, suppose you can take this keyword carousel item, and because it's for every image, so it will change it for all the items. So you can take carousel item, and then you can specify the height for it. So let's take height for like 100 pixels. Okay, so now I think it will reduce down. Okay, so yes, you can see this has reduced, but what's the problem here? That image doesn't reduce automatically. So this is how you basically reduce the width. If you have to reduce the image also, you can go with image characteristics for it and change it. So if you want that, should I show that also, or is this enough?
Yes, sir. Please show that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wait a second. So you can take any of the image parameters also. You can take image class for it, or something like that. Any of this, like dot carousel item and image. So you can specify the height for it to be the same also. You can specify it to be 300 pixels, and it will get adjusted automatically with it. Okay, but you have to change the image. Of course, the image gets stretched automatically, so you have to reduce the, if you can either reduce the width for it and the rest of the space can be black, or it will show you stretched images like this. Okay,
Sir, we have to specify this differently for the image thing.
yeah, or either you can do it auto. I think with auto also it automatically adjusts it. I think, wait a second. No,
Okay, I thought with carousel items, if we increase or decrease the height, it will also decrease or increase the height of the image.
no, I think
No, it will increase or decrease with carousel thing only.
yes, it will change the
Okay.
width, items width. Okay, so basically this is one item, and it won't go for images, it won't change the image height and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, this is what happened with me because.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and if you specifically, if you want to change the item also, you can give a minimum height to it, like minimum height and something like that, and specify this minimum height as 300 pixels, so the image won't go out of this in case. Okay, so that's how you can specify the height also. You can use minimum height, and there's one something called as position absolute, I think absolute. I think I made a spelling mistake. So with that, no, it doesn't work. Wait a second. Dot item dot image. No, it won't. You can either change the width. You can directly change the height for it, and I think it will work. So that's the only method, because you have to take images like that then. And you can change the width for image also then, if you want to keep the resolution as same. You can change the width as auto. So no, it won't. These are 300 by 300 pixels, so you have to either change the width or something like that, but it shows images like this only. Okay. Anything else? Any doubts other than this? Any?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. I'll stop then. Okay. If you have any other doubts, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave. Yes, guys. Any doubts? If you have, you can stay.